Yep.
Hey, name's Sissy. Thank you. Sissy Van Dyke. It's not just a name, it's a lifestyle. So in case anybody's wondering, I am single. Anybody wondering? All right. Great. It sounds like, I'd say probably in an hour or so, I'd be changing my Facebook status to from single to in a relationship. An hour after that, it'll be complicated. By the end of the night, I'll be single again, because I'm a lesbian, that's the way I roll. So you know who else is single? Jodie Foster. That's right. She came out as single at the Golden Globes this year. That's right. So who knows? I think this is the first time Jodie and I have been single at the same time. Coincidence? I think not. Who's story my life? Get up here. That's what I say right here. Read my mind. Yeah, so I think not too. And, you know, so who knows what time and OkCupid will bring. Because I cast a wide net on OkCupid. New York to LA, no problem. You all does one-way rentals. So what would Jodie's OkCupid ad look like? Something like, oh, retired award-winning actress seeks same. For romantic walks on the beach at night in the very pitch dark. Hot afternoon sex in my panic room. And romantic dinners at home with Mel Gibson. Must love pets, children, and big, big closets. Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but me, I'm on OkCupid, okay? Who else is on OkCupid? OKC in the house. What's your screen name? Come on, dating opportunity. Anybody? My screen name is Sissy Van Dyke. It's not just a name, it's a profile.
I never seen
that. And you gotta be careful when you're picking a name on OkCupid because people can get the wrong impression. People with names like Love Taco 14, Kitty Liquor, Big Boobs for You, they wonder why they don't get anybody responding to their ads. And Crazy Cat Lady 14, that's a warning well taken, okay? So you gotta beware when you're naming your name. And one thing I've discovered with names on OkCupid is women who have the word sexy in their name usually aren't. And women with the word diva in their name usually are. So if you date someone with the word diva in her name, you brought that shit on yourself, okay? She gave you fair warning. The thing I like about OkCupid is that it's free, and I always feel like I get what I pay for. As long as my date don't steal from me, I have got ahead. The bad thing about OkCupid is sometimes what you see is not what you get, because women be telling lies on OkCupid, okay? And I don't understand why people tell lies about things that are going to be obvious the minute you meet them, okay? This one woman advertised herself as tall, beautiful, and dark. Okay, so I meet her, and all right, in some families, I guess 5'2" is tall. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I have prescription beer goggles. But when someone describes themselves as dark, I'm thinking either their skin or hair color, not their view on life. And, you know, people tell such, they lie so much. I accidentally ended up dating the same woman like 3 times. Because every twice. And there were never pictures of herself. I discovered this when one day I asked her to send me a picture and she sent me one of me. And I almost fell for it. It was a really good picture of me. So no, you gotta be careful. And you know, I don't know what's been up with my profile lately, but I've been attracting a lot of very, very deeply religious women. The only thing I can figure is something in my profile saying this woman is going to hell and she needs to be saved. And if you think it's hard meeting a woman's family, try meeting her entire congregation. You know, they always want to take you to church, and that is not a date, it's an intervention. And speaking of religious women, I actually dated someone who was a former nun. Her name was Mary, surprise, surprise. And I don't normally, you know, hook up with people from the convent, but, you know, I think I get. And, you know, I dated a lot of people for whom English was not their first language, but Mary was the first person I dated whose first language was Latin. And I asked her why did she leave the convent. She said she was trying to break a bad habit. So I don't know, I was kind of scared of dating her at first because I wasn't sure if her ex-boyfriend, God, was over her yet. You gotta be careful when you're dating people whose ex has like serious anger management problems. It's like God sometimes has these like this reputation of being kind of angry and vengeful at times, you know, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah angry and Lot's wife kind of vengeful. And me, I like salt. But I wouldn't want to be a pillar of one, okay? And anyway, so I dated her for a little while, but I had to let her go because like whenever we were making love, she's all like, oh God. Oh Lord. Oh Jesus. Amen. And I had to let her go because here I am doing all the work and somebody else is getting all the work. So one last question. How many people here like to smoke a little dope? Okay, don't answer. That was you do not admit to smoking dope with the smoke coming out of your nose, okay? The thing about me is I never got into drugs because my grandma was like a serious pothead. And nothing sucks the coolness out of drug use like having your grandma offer to roll you a blunt. See, my grandma had like a prescription, like a medical marijuana prescription for cataracts. I said to her, but Grandma, you don't have cataracts. She says, I know, Sissy, dude. This stuff is great. And guys, if my grandma ever offers you a brownie, do not eat it unless you have nothing to do for the rest of the day. That's how she tricks people into hanging out with her at I ate one of Grandma's brownies one time. I did not get home for 3 days. And I was visiting Grandma. You were there. I both ate them brownies. I was over at the home visiting Grandma the other day, though, and she was all excited. She was like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm finally going to get to go home tomorrow. Unfortunately, she's been saying the same thing every day for 6 years. See, being old, being a pothead, Grandma has the short-term memory of an Etch-a-Sketch on a roller coaster. Every few minutes, it's a whole new day. You know, sometimes I think about bringing Grandma home to live with me. Then I start thinking about something else. Thank God for ADD. Thank you very much.